Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. To this video I'm talking about a huge report on Aston Martin and Honda, as well as a key update on Liam Lawson following his Red Bull drive in Zandvoort. So let's start with Aston Martin, and they had a very successful Dutch Grand Prix, with Fernando Alonso finishing in P9 and, as a result, scoring points for the team. Now, as we know, in the first half of the season, Aston Martin and Honda were a back-of-the-grid team. However, just before the summer break, Aston Martin introduced a huge amount of upgrades to their car and brought even more in Zandvoort, the first round since the summer break. And on top of that, Honda brought more power to their engine in Zandvoort as well. So things are definitely going in the right direction. However, it's clear that much more work needs to be done, especially on the engine side. More power is needed. And well, a very interesting report has emerged, with it being reported that Aston Martin would be in talks with Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff and Mercedes to be powered by them in 2028 if Honda fails in 2027. Toto Wolff was in Aston Martin's motorhome in Zandvoort, and it's not the first time he was also there in Barcelona. Now make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my Formula 1 content and are kept up to date with F1 news. All your support is incredible, and thank you so much for helping me reach 56,000 subscribers. Now, Aston Martin used to be powered by Mercedes engines. However, they decided to switch to Honda in 2026. But as we know, Mercedes have a very strong power unit this year, and while the Mercedes engine was in the back of that Aston Martin, I think Aston Martin would be much higher up the grid. Now, the news that Aston Martin could be looking at being powered by Mercedes in 2028 is very interesting, but in regards to Toto Wolff visiting the Aston Martin motorhome, the journalist who wrote the news said, Toto entering Aston's motorhome doesn't mean anything, obviously. It's simply a hook and a detail to tell the story. The information that Aston has been talking to other engine suppliers for a while, with Mercedes as the favourite, isn't based on or supported by Wolff's visit in Zandvoort, which hasn't been the only one this year. It's probably a manoeuvre by the team to put pressure on Honda now that the chassis has improved, but that's already interpretation. A breakup isn't impossible, but it would be very complicated, as F1 has no interest in losing an engine supplier. But let's move on to Liam Lawson. Now, as we know, he's had a really strong season in the Red Bull sister team, and when Red Bull's Isaac Hadjar had to withdraw from the Dutch Grand Prix because of a wrist injury, Red Bull turned to Lawson to replace him for the weekend, and well, Lawson did a really good job in my opinion. Throughout the weekend, he was close to the pace of Max Verstappen, and then in the Grand Prix, Lawson finished 7th in a car that was not competitive at all in Zandvoort. Now, as a result of this strong performance, GP blogs say that should it become clear in the coming week that Hadjar is still not fit enough to race in Monza, Liam Lawson will once again step in for Red Bull Racing. With that possibility in mind, Red Bull has decided to keep Lawson with the team for the time being, so that he would arrive in Italy better prepared than he was in the Netherlands if needed. So yeah, it's quite clear Lawson has impressed, and a huge turnaround from the start of 2025, where Lawson drove for Red Bull in the opening 2 rounds before being demoted back to the Racing Bulls team following some difficult performances. And Red Bull team boss Laurent Mekies felt that Lawson has performed well in Zandvoort, with him saying, as quoted by Racing News 365, Liam has done a good job stepping into the car. It's never easy stepping into a different team and different car for a race like that, and he's done a good job. He was only 1/10 away from Max in Grand Prix qualifying, and in the race, took the points that were available to him pace-wise with the 7th place. But that's going to be the video from me. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care.